speak about my journey in the last 7 years.
Okay, that's exactly what we
Yeah,
want.
yeah. And I've addressed MS Ramaya.
I've been to Christ.
Never been to Christ. BMS Engineering College I've been to. I've spoken to the faculty and trained them on entrepreneurship lectures, basically.
No, Anita ma'am is actually my aunt.
Anita, oh yeah, of course. Anita is like a soul sister too. I mean, she has a very, very close integral part in the
Yes.
store being functional during COVID. I think I'm indebted for life, for that very
Actually,
gesture.
I asked her like I need someone like this. For the person.
Because had they not intervened and stood like a guard for the store to the BBMP and the government authorities, we would have had to close and you won't be talking to me. I would have shut shop and gone. It was that.
They have a good quality.
It was like that and very close to Anita and Govardhan. Very, very close. They're really my guardians. They're like my guardian angels for the store. Because Govardhan sir suggested you convert the store into a residential store. Because COVID aaya, then we had to close, right? Every other establishment closed. That was my biggest bottleneck that we passed. It is like now we are having a bonus life. And 1 week of that COVID shutdown was not a disaster, but it was like a change of gear for us.
Yeah.
It was a change of gear because we discovered that it was like a eureka moment. One of my staff, there was this announcement of shutting down that came on March 17th. 25th was the lockdown. 17th को हमें पता चला कि close down हो रहा है, we have to shut shop. So I had no plan B in mind. And then next day, my staff and her 2 children, one of them is here also, younger one, 3 years ago, put masks on their face and they came. I asked Sabita, how did you get this stitch? She said, मेरा पुराना कुर्ता था, I just stitched. Then it struck me that we are a fabric store. We can make this. And then I called one of my suppliers and asked them, elastic doge kya? So then he sourced and then was this history. We made some 60,000 masks. And then everything, whatever you see here was not there. Whatever you see here was not there during COVID. Everything was put back, only masks were displayed. That was like the strategy. And it worked. And then we, coincidentally, that was the maximum we sold. Those 2 points. That's just one part. Yeah, go on with your question.
You can try doing the
Start.
question. Good afternoon. So, can you just introduce yourself and how about your entrepreneurship and the journey and the inside of it?
I'm basically a BCom graduate from BMS. So my journey starts with a Hewlett-Packard job. I finished my graduation and then was into an internship in the jail of Institute of Courses. Okay? Then came Verifone India, which was into smart card terminals. We have these swipe card machines which are used in the beach too. So that manufacturing company was like in India. And Hewlett-Packard took over the same company in 2.5 years. So we were working as temp staff. And we all got absorbed into permanent jobs once the acquisition happened. And then I was into end-to-end recruiting, right from your campus and reviews. We used to recruit from REC all across the country. Because we were a software company which was into back-end financial processing, data processing for the US. And the parent company being Manikarnika, we were called Global Business. So we were into HRMS. I was into right from recruitment stage of a candidate till his recruitment to the company. And then went into interviews stage and then recruited into the company and then new hire formalities. Then acclimatizing him to various departments of the office, admin, HR, all that. So that was about 8 years of my life. And then I used to do payroll, I used to do coordination with the finance department for their videos and promotion. So that was one part. And then came marriage and then kids. And then I was pregnant of this first child. I had to quit the job because family setup. I have a happy family, blessed to have, where I don't have to earn for the house. And I live just across the road. And when my older one was born, my mother-in-law, being a stroke patient, she was a nuclear stroke patient for 10 years back. So I had to consciously decide to be in the house. So the one lady, it was a one-lady house. So somebody has to take care of the baby, right? So in my childhood, I've grown up with my mother. She was always there for me. So when I had a child, I realized that I have to give my 5-6 years. Whatever career I'm into, my 5-6 years is going to be for that baby. So then came my homemaker kind of life. And that defined my future because I couldn't sit at home. People who have already worked outside can never sit at home. It's another thing if you marry a person who's never seen the outside world. She's never had the taste of it. Like that, you know. But basically on a technical side also, you know, when you are into so much work, 8 to 8, all about 8-9 years you worked, and then suddenly you're only changing diapers, you're only doing cooking, you're only cleaning, you're only washing clothes, and all that, it gets on to you sometimes. And you know that you're capable for more. So that's where the service intent came. And I realized that my people who work for me are struggling, and then who have some extra talent. They could stitch. Some of them could stitch. And it came to a situation where I wanted help for my recycling opportunities that was coming up. By now, I was like 4 years, 5 years into my homemaking kind of a house kind of a setup. So at that time when I was pondering what to do next, when you are at a point zero back again, you know, after working, after having a successful career, drawing a salary of 60,000 per month, and then going down to a zero. And yes, of course, you have a husband to fall back on, and then he's there to financially support you. But you've seen, but you've handled a lot of stuff, but you've done a lot of things. So you want to do something more. That's how the recycle thing started. कुछ तो करना है. डब्बा ही क्यों ना बनाए? That box. You can see that. Just bring one of them. Yeah. That was my starting point after HP's job. After 4-5 years, this was the first thing I earned. I made it myself, and I earned 15 rupees out. That was ground zero and beginning that way. So this was like 6, 7 years, 8 years back. And so basically, what happened was in our house for a gifting purpose, we were looking for a carry bag. So those days were the times when plastic bag had begun. The thing about social awareness programs and that plastic recycling drills. A lot of awareness was going on, and a lot of recycling kind of a thing was catching up on Facebook. Facebook had just happened in probably 2011, 2010, 2009. Around that time, it used to be only Orkut and other Hotmail and other stuff. Right? After that, when Facebook started, all of these started getting picked up. Social community activities started getting picked up. And one of those occasions, I kept seeing a group called Second to None. This was part of my founders group of people whom I knew from HP and their friends and their friends. So another mutual friend had started this group called Second to None, which was into second-hand sale. Basically resale of things that you don't need in the house. So you have a kitchen appliance, you don't need it. You have old sarees, you don't need it. You have old bed mattress that's going old, you want to change it. So what will you do with the old one? You don't even OLX was not there. So these kind of portals started coming up on Facebook. Groups started coming up on Facebook, and we, being the first circle of friends, I sort of got involved into it, and then the recycle ka idea started stemming it. And I have a recycle background because my dad was an ardent recycler. My dad and mom's photo there, and dad and mom both passed away during the COVID. They passed away. Dad always used to recycle. Right from my childhood, I've seen him do help us with book wrapping and he would pick out the empty sheets of the previous year books, and then he would teach me to make rough notes. So I've sat and stitched rough notes out of that. So paper recycling happened like that, and I never knew that will be the foundation for my business then at that time. But the thing is, a message that I'd like to give people is, when you're in your 10 to 15 years, 15 to 20 years, 30 to 35, keep the gadget away. Look for real things. Do real things.
Can you just introduce about your organization?
Organization, so the recycle part continued. It's a continuity. And when this carton recycle didn't generate money, like if you want to impact, if you want to help people more than you, I mean, more than one or two people, you need to leverage your business. How would you do it when this thing is giving you only this? I sold for 50 rupees, and the sheet itself costs you 30 rupees, right? And in one sheet you can wrap only 2 boxes. This is a tea cup. This is a Taj Mahal tea cup. Those small ones there are all soap cartons. Yeah. So that kind of recycling. At that time, say 6 years ago, I would have done some 4,000 cartons like this, from saved 4,000 to 5,000 cartons like this from getting into the landfills, and recycled them and sold them into various utilities, made them into various utilities, boxes, druggy boxes, and different things, and sold them. But that was not generating money. That's when fabric recycling, cloth bags. That was the next step. And I started making cloth bags. I started making potlis out of a sari. One sari which is 6 meters, a sari like this, can yield about 130 potlis. Like the small ones. Small ones, right? So that was the first thing that started with the fabric recycling. So that caught on again, caught on fire on Facebook when I posted it in our subcom page. People started relating to it. Chalo, let us use what is not being used. In every woman's wardrobe, there are at least 70 to 80 saris, right? Of which we use only some 5 or 10. Baki ke 50 or 60 is only biting the dust. So either recycle them. The recycle part is a very traditional thing in India. There are quilts which are recycled out of old saris. If you are from the Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, or if you are from Gujarat, if you are from Bengal, you know Katha quilts, and then in Gujarat it is called Gudri. In Karnataka it is called Kaudi. It's the same technique. You basically put tone clothes together, patch them, stitch them up. In each place it's called a different name. That's all. So that was the technique we started making, and recycle started picking up. And parallelly the sari thing also happened. I happened to go to an exhibition and I saw a couple of saris which were none like these. They were the check saris which are there in that one. They were traditional saris from North India. And there were no tapers for them. The stall had a lot of silks. They had raw silks, they had paper silk, they had Banarsi silks, they had Baluchari silks. You name it and it was there. And there were these two soft, sad-looking check saris which nobody was taking. I somehow, I think it's in my nature to support somebody who's like an underdog. Because I have been that in my childhood. I've had a lot of inferiority complex. I've had a lot of insecurity about myself. I wouldn't think I was beautiful. I wouldn't think I could speak. I wouldn't think I was good enough compared to the first ranker in the class. So I know that feeling. So somewhere when I saw those two saris, something clicked. I said, "Kiske bare mein bata?" Then the lady who was a Muslim seller, she said, "Didi, I'll come to you to Delhi with all these people." After all, they were customers. So I waited about 10 minutes, and then she came. She said, "I am a seller from Beda, and I know these weavers who are closing down even their power mill." This was in 2024, it was in 2011. So the handloom industry had not even seen its peak, and the handloom sarees were not on demand. And leave alone handloom, even the powerloom sarees were not on demand. That's when something beautiful happened in the community, in the internet, in the Facebook community. There was something called 100 Sari, where two women together brought about complete change to the sari industry. They came out with a concept saying, see, all of us are sitting with 60 70 saris. Why not we pull out one sari a day, wear it, and tell a story about it? Basically, how you got that sari. India being a traditional heirloom kind of a families running, where grassroots level recycling happens, grassroots level handover happens, where mothers pass on their saris to daughters, grandmothers pass on their saris to granddaughters-in-law, and aunts pass on their saris to nieces. It's that kind of a culture that comes, right? So why not we talk about those stories? Or even where you bought the sari, where is the sari from, who's the weaver? Let's talk about those stories. Okay? There are two women. One is Anju Muddal Karan and another is Ahilya Ali Muddal. Both of them together started the 100 Sari Pack, the whole world followed. She even is a TED speaker. She spoke, Shah Rukh Khan hosted her and she's given a talk, Anju Muddal. So, about the Sari Pact, where she said, wear 100 saris in the whole year. You don't have to, you can repeat the same sari. You have to wear it 100 times. That is, on 365 days, you just wear 100 days. You don't have to wear it every day. So that was a breather. Women also found it easier not to wear it every day. These days, nobody wears. So that started out and people just started getting into it. And that's how I also got involved, being the first circle of friends. And that is when one section of people got into weaver issues. Another section of people were happy talking about their saris, celebrating their saris, and bringing out, say for example, me being a South Indian, I don't have a Banarsi silk. I don't have an Assam silk. So what happened was the person in the north, probably she's from the chicken curry world, she's from Punjab, and she doesn't have a kanji. So she started posting saying, oh, when somebody posts a kanji sari, the lady from Punjab messages on the comments saying, oh, I don't have